let's be real. You're putting effective rounds down range on a target that is reduced C zone to us right now, but it's actually full C zone, but at 190 meters, mind you, in foliage, through foliage.
Indeed.
Up on a elevated, up on a ridge.
And you can't see it.
Maybe you didn't break that down hard enough. Elevated through foliage.
Welcome back to CF Podcast, guys. Kai over here with Jason.
What's going on, folks?
And we've got a great guest over here with us, Ivan from the Kit Badger. Dude, great having you. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys.
Otherwise known as the man with the softest voice on YouTube.
Hey, you know what? Sometimes you need that.
He's got the softest voice on YouTube, for sure.
I can literally hear him right now.
No, what I'm saying, like, his videos, like, bro, it's like serenading to my soul. I promise you.
What are they, meditation?
It's
videos?
Meditation for me. 100%.
Yeah, of course. He's reviewing, gear and guns?
Bro, and the scenery, and lately with the dog now?
How about let's you and I just talk about Kit Badger for a while? I need you watch us.
I'm just saying, you got to watch a video, man.
No, I have. Yeah, literally, you're right. They're very soothing. You're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
If you really don't speak English, you can actually listen to your videos as for like meditation or something.
Bro, you're like Bob Ross of the two-way world. Painting these wonderful, majestic pictures.
So, Jason, where are we at right now, dude?
So we're in Folsom, New Mexico, man, at the Q Ranch, Quintilia Ranch. Jeez, slaughtered that one. Sorry, Connor. But yeah, owned by Connor and his father, Leo. And this is a huge, 44,000 acres. So if you put that in perspective, that's about 82.6 square miles of their property. And it is so majestic out here. Currently, there is snow on the ground. It was great until it was warm today.
Yeah.
And then it became a slop fest, muddy.
Good times, though.
Yeah.
Good times. How you liking around here, Ivan?
I'm enjoying it. I like the snow.
There you go.
Getting back into winter, but today was actually hot.
Yeah.
It was really hot.
Yeah.
Yeah, today was great. And I want to actually get to this point where, what we're doing here and all that stuff. But before we do that, folks who may not know you, let's just tell everybody who you are, man.
Yeah. All right. Broad strokes, I have a YouTube channel, and I create content largely reviewing gear, whether it's outdoor gear as well as tactical gear. Spend a lot of time in the backcountry and stuff like that, which is where I usually film my A-roll, mountaintops.
There you go.
Where do you live?
Up in North Idaho, up in Coeur d'Alene.
Oh, awesome.
Sweet spot for like some gun content, that's for sure.
God's country, for sure.
Yeah. What got you into all these gun stuff? I'm gonna get to. Maybe we should talk about your background a little bit too.
Okay. Yeah. No. I guess backing up, I ended up going into the Marine Corps back in the day. I guess 98 to 02. Ended up over in Afghanistan, first conventional troops. We were training we were in Liberty after we were training in Darwin, Australia on September 11th. So got recalled to the ship, went back, spent some time in Pakistan, then went to Afghanistan late 01.
Okay.
Eventually got out, messed around, did some junior college because the GI Bill sounded better than working.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
And while I was doing that, did some racing, rose the Baja 1000 a couple times.
Oh, wow.
That was pretty fun.
That's what's up.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
cool. And then after that, went back in the Air Force. Spent 4 years there. Got out, a little bit of law enforcement, and then went to security contracting for 6 years.
Okay.
Wait. Okay, we're not just gonna jump through the Air Force and a little bit of a long.
No. Oh, God, no. Don't do that.
Same thing.
Don't do that.
I love that stuff. So wait, you're in the Marine Corps. You did all that stuff. You got out, and then you went back active duty Air Force.
Yeah. No, I decided I wanted to go back in, and I was like, is the grass greener on the other side of the fence? It's not. It's just different grass. Come to find out.
Right. Imagine that.
Yeah, go figure.
Oh yeah,
But-
how long? Go ahead. Yeah, sorry.
Oh no, yeah, no. I went in. I originally went in for combat control,
Okay.
and like 6 months into the pipeline, ended up getting like medically DQ'd. I had a herniated disc, got back
Shit.
surgery and stuff like that. So
Wow.
ended up doing like comm stuff for the rest of the time in there.
Okay.
Which was like 4 years then.
I finished out, my
Okay.
commitment.
And then
And-
contracting.
Well, no, don't jump.
Oh,
'cause
my bad.
There's law enforcement in there.
Okay, sorry.
And I want to get to because that
That's his wheelhouse.
that's my
for
sure.
wheelhouse for sure. So tell us about that.
So yeah, ended up, somewhere in there.
Okay.
Once I got out, I'm pretty sure I went back to junior college because I still didn't want to have a real job. So back to the GI Bill. And then I was like, I should probably get a real job. And ended up actually going and, working some law enforcement. But it was at a time when this would have been like 2010-ish or something,
Okay.
where like everywhere was making really poor choices with finances, like
Yeah.
every city. And so they're like, hey, we're going to give you a pink slip. We've never laid anyone off, but we're going to give you a pink slip. And at that point, I was recently married, and my son was about to be born, my first son.
Oh, wow.
And so right about that time also, my TSSCI clearance came back. And they're like, hey, we have a slot for you if you, like, come to vetting, like, see if
Law
you pass.
enforcement?
No, for contracting.
Contract. Yeah.
And so I went. It was actually, the opportunity fell in my paternity leave. Like, so I was able to go on my paternity leave, go back, do the vetting, pass that, like pistol qual, rifle qual, PFT, all that stuff. And then they're like, hey, do you want the job? And so I went back and I was like, can you guarantee me a job at the PD?
Right.
And they're like, we cannot, because you're going to
So
get a
you
pink
were a
slip.
local cop for a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what's up.
In Idaho?
No.
Okay.
Somewhere. And I was just like, hey, can you guarantee me the job? And they're like, no. And I was like, okay, I'm going to go contract. And then I left and went contracted.
And your TSSCI was sponsored by what? Who?
It was Gov, like it was an OGA contract.
So you applied for it, and then they cleared you, and then you got into the field.
Yeah.
I'm assuming. So how's that world? Can anybody be a contractor? Because a lot of people talk about this contractor stuff. Right?
They do. There's a lot of people that want to do it. It's one of the, like, the short answer is yes.
Mm-hmm.
Also, the short answer is, like, don't do it. It's a terrible thing. Like,
Why would you do that?
Yeah.
Pays great.
it's a trap.
Why
It's
is
a
it why is
trap.
it terrible?
It's a huge trap. I mean, it's one, it's probably not much of a trap anymore because the golden age of contracting is gone.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it can't come again,
Yeah.
like a second age, but no, like the money is no longer there what it used to be. Like I didn't have like I had a pretty good, the contracts that were on was pretty good. I think my last daily rate was like $575 a day or something like that, which was a lot in like 2010, 2012. That's not very much now.
Correct.
Like really it isn't. And so it was a lot at that point in time. And then right about the time I left, like they started cutting pay for people on contract and stuff like that. And then the GWAT just wound down also.
Right.
So a lot of that dried up.
So how long were you a contractor for?
Like 6 years.
6 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
Without getting into specifics, I feel like it's a very popular company that we've heard of.
Probably. They rebranded over and over again.
Okay, so
What's the company?
do they happen to be out of North Carolina?
I think so.
Okay, that sums it
Yeah,
up.
no, they
Yep.
they rebranded over and over. And then at some point, I think one of the other companies like won the contract. You just change shirts,
Right.
like it doesn't.
Right.
The
Well,
contract stays there.
Old contracting. So a lot of people talk about contractors, right? This whole contracting with the government.
Yeah.
And that's because of some podcasts and movies out there that just show really cool stuff.
Yeah.
Like just like everything else we
You're
see.
just a mall cop, just in another country.
That's what I was going to get at. So you are, is it all like you are just this Billy badass going out there and do some.
Well, I mean, first of all, like, why is there a contract?
Right.
And so the reason of there's a contract, you either have government contracts as far as, like, I was working OGA, other governmental agency, or you'll have, like, I guess you'd say a private contract.
Right.
In the sense of, like, Halliburton or something like that, where it's like, hey, this company got hired to go rebuild a road that we blew up over and over again. So let's go make some people rich by rebuilding this road.
Right.
And so in doing so, though, they don't have the infrastructure to provide security for their workers over there.
Right.
So they'll end up coming up with a contract and they'll hire workers. So that's like kind of on private sector side. And then on the government side, you have agencies that are going to go work overseas, and they do not have the infrastructure
Right.
to, even though they might actually have like a security element,
Right.
they don't have the volume to
handle.
provide security for their sites overseas. And so then they end up with a contract, goes to bid, whoever wins it, and then they staff it with security, either static security or mobile security.
Right, like DSS or State Department.
Yeah, like state, the
Yeah.
WIPS contract, all
Yeah.
that stuff. Yeah.
But you got to have the background, I'm assuming. You got to have law enforcement, military, some type of background to be able to get.
Yes
these
and no.
Yes and
like
no.
there's some shady ones too. Like I remember someone asking, like, "Hey, do you want to go on this contract?" It was like during the Iraq elections or something like that, and it's like driving around with some election official, thin-skinned vehicle with like an AK, like, and it's like
That's shady, yeah.
yeah, because then you're like, if something happens, is anyone coming? Do we have a Blue Force tracker? Like,
Right. Who's our QRF?
what's happening?
No,
here?
it's you.
Yeah, like, no, pass.
Okay. That
So it's cool until shit gets real.
And the other thing too is it's honestly just super boring. Like stateside security is super boring.
Right.
I mean, it'll get really exciting really quick
yeah.
sometimes, but mostly it's just really boring.
Yeah, just like anything else, you know, in
Yeah.
law enforcement, military.
I think the biggest draw for people, the biggest draw for people is for the masses that have never like been in the military or anything is it's like, oh, this
their
is a
opportunity.
shortcut. And it's like, maybe. And you probably won't get hired because it's the same thing as a college degree. Like
Yeah.
nobody cares what your degree is. They just want to know that you are willing to do
the
this
job.
thing for
Yeah.
4 years
Yep.
and show up and like pass. That's the same thing with like, were you in the military? Like checked about, cool. You got up and shaved every day. Like awesome. Like show up on time. That's what that is mostly. And
That's
I mean,
very-
some of the contracts obviously have requirement with respect to where you've been and like what you maybe have done, like MOS and stuff
Yep.
like that. But
That is pretty cool. So, all right. So after your contracting, 6 years there, did that. What then?
then that in part helped precipitate a divorce.
Oh,
And-
sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
Or
I mean-
congratulations. I don't know.
Thank you.
I see. Yeah,
No, like it's one of those things where if you like where you are at this point in time, then you have to appreciate everything that brought you to this point in
Yeah.
time.
That's
And
a great
so
outlook.
100% like best thing, best outcome. And so, yeah, essentially me being gone like a good half the year or so, in part, like just it's hard to maintain a relationship.
That's
like
right.
you got to be really, both parties have to be really invested on making that work.
Yeah.
And
And it comes with that
Didn't happen.
understanding, man. It's just sometimes
yeah,
it's tough. It's tough.
No, I mean,
it's work.
Yeah, I understand. I understand both parties. Like, can you imagine? Like, you're in a relationship, and you just don't get to hang out with your partner for 6 months out of the year. They're
For
just
sure.
gone. They're not there. Sometimes you probably weren't even. I don't know about you, maybe, but a lot of times I talk to my friends who go overseas for contracting or military. They're like, "Hey, I'm not gonna be able to talk to you for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
That's it." And just imagine that.
And it's also, like, ironically enough, when you come home, it's super disruptive because your significant other, like your wife, has been managing the household and the kids and everything, and they have their routine, and then you're like, I'm home, like, let's go do stuff, like, I missed you guys, and like completely destroy the routine.
Yeah.
Right.
And yeah.
Good angle to look at too. That's for sure. All right.
So having that happen, really it came down to just kind of restructuring like what was important in my life ultimately.
Right.
Because going through that divorce, it was going back and forth, and I was like, look, like I just want 50-50 physical legal custody with my boys, because in going through that, I became aware of like what was actually important in my life, my boys.
Yeah.
And so I was like, hey, this is what I want. And she would not agree to, because essentially I was like, look, I will go work 2 months on, 2 months off. And when I'm home, like they can still come over like a couple weekends or whatever, but like I want them for this block, like the majority of this block that I'm home. And wouldn't agree to it. And so finally she agreed to 50-50 physical legal custody when I was in the county. So if I'm working overseas half the year, that basically works out to like 25-75.
Right.
And I was like, okay, like cool, let's, because it was court appointed mediation and stuff
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
So I was like, cool, like let's just sign this and get this done so we can move on. So we did. And as soon as those documents came back from like getting signed, I was like, by the way, I'm never going overseas again. So we have 50-50 physical legal custody.
Nice. You played that well, man. I like that.
But I mean, I absolutely like totally left without a plan. So that turned into me like working part-time, like stocking shelves, or working part-time as like landscaping or driving for like Uber and Lyft and stuff. But right about that time, I was like, well, if I'm going to be poor, like I'm going to be poor doing something I enjoy. So that was when I actually started Kit Badger, like doing videos and stuff, which I had done a little bit in the past. Like I actually made a cool documentary from the first time I raced the Baja 1000, which was pretty fun. So yeah, like I enjoyed video stuff. And so, yeah, that's when it started. And it obviously paid nothing for years and was just slow growing. Like at first it was like, oh man, I got 10 subscribers. And then eventually it's like, I have 100. I don't even know 100 people.
Yeah.
And yeah, just went from there.
And
Bro,
so, yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
He has this such humble, chill
Oh, yeah.
attitude, bro. Like the energy is like,
I agree.
you know what I'm saying? It's just like,
But
wow.
I love this story though.
Yeah.
Like everybody has a story. We all have a story. And yours is just like being humble, such an important thing. You went, you were in the military during those tough times, got out, you went back to airsoft, you were Air Force.
Nailed it.
I apologize. Air Force, and then you were a police officer, then a contractor, all that stuff. And then from there, now you're stocking shelves. And you're driving for Uber.
I was
taking care of your
literally
kids.
like weeding, working landscaping, like in my Arc'teryx kneecaps, because I had them. I'm like, cool. Like, if I gotta be down there,
That's so
crazy.
cool. Like great story from there. And you dedicated your life to your kids. I mean, I respect that. And then from there, you started your Kit Badger, which it's doing well now.
yeah,
Right.
Let's get in there.
How's that going?
I mean, it's one of those things where like out the gate, if you're, depending on what you're looking to do with something like that, like my goal was I'm going to be overnight success in 10 years. So I'm like 8 years in. So I'm like pretty much on track for that.
Okay.
But if you're just like, yeah, like I want to do that, you'll be really disappointed because it's ultimately, you have to just enjoy the process because it's a long game.
It is. That's exhausting to editing videos, finding content, filming them. Man, that's a lot of work. I mean, look at us here at Classic, right? Which that's a good segue to what we're doing here. But we constantly go out there and do content. Like Jason and I, we're in front of the camera. We do stuff. Dude, how many times? Oh, take this. Let's do this angle. Oh, we got to do this again.
Yeah.
All kinds of stuff. It's a lot of work, and we get tired being in front of the camera. And these guys behind the camera doing all of the legwork. It's a lot of work to make things happen.
as a one-man show.
Yeah,
And
think about that.
like there'll be classes I'm taking where I have like 2 cameras on tripods and I'm like trying to move them around.
Wow.
And, yeah.
Wow.
But
Do you give any training?
no. I mean, on a super low level, like friends and stuff like that,
I see.
I'll take out. But,
Speaking of training,
yeah.
this is what
Here
are we
we
doing
are.
here, Jason?
We're doing some low light recce and low light night vision course here, 3-day, out here in Folsom, New Mexico, with Follow Through Consulting, Buck Doyle
Yeah.
and team, and we learned a lot today, didn't we?
We definitely did. And you, Ivan, came out here with the Q guys,
yeah.
right? I mean, who you want to talk about the Q guys because they're your guys too, more like you
Yeah.
know them.
Yeah. The engineers, Nick and Mitch and Jay and Jake, and I mean, came out here to run the new released boombox, man.
Yeah.
I mean,
Which
you've
is
got
awesome.
one, and I've got one.
Ivan's got one.
Ivan's got one. Yeah, we're all running boomboxes. So yeah, we are going through so much ammo,
So many dollars.
so many dollars. Each one of those $3, $3 a round for subs, man.
What about supers?
Probably $3.
$2.97.
Man, I'm glad it's $2.97. If it was $3, I couldn't afford it.
But yeah, we're
Yeah.
pumping through ammo.
So yeah, it's an interesting gun. Like I'm actually really liking it now. Initially, I was like, man, okay, the supers, it recoils maybe a little bit like 308, which it doesn't. It actually is less. I was like, okay, the 5.56, I can stay on that plate and just drill it, right? This thing jumps a little bit. I was kind of a little bit skeptical initially, maybe first mag or two. Bro, I love that thing now. What do you think about it, Ivan?
It's a fun gun. I mean, I actually went out and shot 8.6 before it was 8. I forget what they initially called it. I can't remember, but like years ago. And I was just like, this thing is incredible. I think the first time I shot it was actually in a trash can full of sand, like behind Q. They're like, check out how quiet this thing is. I'm like, okay. We're in this like concrete, I don't know, closet or something, and there's literally a trash can full of sand. It's like, doom. It's like,
So they had
incredibly
this
quiet.
years ago?
Bro, they've been
They didn't. The cartridge itself
Right.
has been, man, 2018, 2019 or something. I feel like.
when Ethan and Kevin and them got together
It was a
and started
while
talking
ago.
about it. But they even started this whole idea AAC. Like try to miniaturize the
As soon as they
25.
worked on the
Right.
300 Blackout, they're
Right.
like, we should just make this bigger.
Right.
But I do really like the meaningful stuff that they've done with respect to, one, the actual barrel twist. Like 300 Blackout's the Wild West.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone kind of has their own thing, whereas them essentially controlling it from the word go are like, hey, 1 and 3, like this is what we're doing.
Right.
And then with that also case geometry, where 300 Blackout it's fun. I enjoy shooting it, and it gets so dirty so quick to the
Right.
point where it'll basically failure to it. It won't seat rounds.
Because
Yeah.
it's gunked.
Yeah, all that.
That
Yeah.
and because
Carbon.
of it's the geometry of
Yeah.
the case in
Yeah.
part, like that's a big part of it. And been running these guns hard, and that is not a thing I've run into. Like if this was 300 Black, I probably would have had to clean them by now. Otherwise, they would have probably choked. Like if you run them that hard.
Yeah. Yeah, today I had some problems on mine. I'm just still trying to identify, because during the day, no problems, right? Everything's good. Tonight, I don't know if that was the temperature.
What was the
or
barrel length on yours also?
8
Yeah.
inch.
And that
Yours?
mine's 12 and a
right?
half, I think.
So I'm thinking mine was today, and I don't think it's a gun. Under nods, I'm more focused on trying to line my sights, which we can talk about that too. But first time, pretty much doing legitimate night vision shooting. Let's just say for me,
Yeah. Other than like a FAM fire or something
yeah,
like that
exactly,
at the range. Yeah.
100%. So I'm like, okay, let me do this. So shoot, move, obviously different targets, different distances, and I'm trying to find that find that dot and all that passive aiming. I'm not sure if I'm actually not holding that gun tight enough and I'm not letting it cycle properly.
I feel like it's like a 5-pound gun. Like, you need to be behind that gun, I think, for it to do its thing.
That's what I'm saying. So I do not want to blame the gun because, like, during the day, it's my house, like a red dot. Like, just boom, I'm right there holding it tight, I'm good to go. Tonight, I'm not all that comfortable because I'm so focused on this thing in front of my face. So I was less focused on the gun because I'm so comfortable running the gun.
Right.
Really uncomfortable with this. So I was
that.
just not holding that gun. I don't think all that tight. So it was, in a way, limp wristing. You know, like
kind of.
No,
see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I can understand.
I could see that happening.
I think that's what I was doing, unless the temperature change affected.
Which it started to get really cold at the last part.
And yeah, I'm curious about the 8-inch barrel with respect to. I feel like the gas port or the gas block is not located in a different position. I don't know.
Think so.
I think it's the same position on all
I
of them.
think it might be.
Yeah. So, but
might be a dwell time thing and stuff.
Could exactly.
Yeah.
But during the day, obviously, when it was like 60 degrees.
Yeah, it was hot.
So that tells me two things. Because we were shooting, or you were shooting passive, that means the rifle's not exactly where you normally have it, right? That's because that's what it is.
Yeah. So the rifle, great point.
Yeah.
The rifle, the stock was, you know how that it's a collapsible, so you really don't have that cheek piece to put your cheek on. So it was a little bit higher on my shoulder because I'm trying to line up the nods, right? And because of that, I don't have a lot of real estate here.
Right.
That it could slide out.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm kind of keeping it there. So it's not really, I'm not like behind that gun.
Yeah.
Like I normally would
Right.
be. Exactly. Yeah. So I'm just thinking that's what the problem is. And I just don't think it's the gun at all. Because it's been running great all day.
And it could just be lube. I mean, there's certain lube at certain temperatures, or certain lube loves certain temperatures, and that's just what it is.
Yeah.
So,
but going back to the reason I brought that up, I love the thing.
Yeah.
Like I would actually use that gun. Yeah, in my house with subs for a house protection.
Thank God you said that.
Yeah. With subs, yeah.
Otherwise, you're sailing through the house, the neighbor's house, the neighbor's wall,
neighbor's
their cat, their van, the Jeep, all of that.
I mean, what do you think about the recoil on that thing?
It's soft. Like, one, it's subs for sure.
Yeah.
But also, I love shooting suppressed.
Correct.
And in part of that, instead of a snap, it's just a push.
Right.
Like, even if you have heavy recoiling guns, it's still a push rather than a snap, which is way more pleasant.
Yeah.
In my experience.
And all of us were suppressed except for the other savages who were down there running 4-port. Ladies and gentlemen, okay? We're here.
Between two suppressed people.
Yeah.
So.
I was in between two guys running scars with
4-port
port brakes.
Short barrel, too.
Short barrels.
That is
Face didn't know what to do, okay?
Yeah, I could feel that little concussiveness from a distance away. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, that's a little loud gun.
Yeah. Obnoxious. Repeal the NFA. Get a can, please. Be nice to your neighbors.
Yeah. I'm thinking now about today's event, like the next 3 days that we have.
Yeah.
It's such a cool event, right? The cool training. I'm also thinking, like, I wish I was running something that I was familiar with, like my just good old ADM that I had, 5.56.
Just something,
just something
you're familiar with.
Like just run so much more efficiently. But at the same time, I'm running a boombox.
Pretty cool.
It's a bittersweet.
So I hear you, and this is where we talk about it. Doesn't matter the platform, Arrow versus Indian type deal. I get the unfamiliarity, and it can cause.
That causes.
It causes some points of concern, but at a point in time, we've got to just grin and bear it. You know what I'm saying? We've got to push through. I have never shot these subs at distance whatsoever, and bro, we're at 190 meters
That one's wild
That's
too
200
because
yards.
with the
Elevation.
shooting these subs
Yeah.
and because of the structure of the course,
Right.
first time really any of us have been shooting these subs.
Right.
So it's not like we got to
Yeah, we don't have any dope.
We
bro.
don't know where it's
can't
going.
print them on
Right,
paper
yeah,
like
right.
out a distance. So
Right.
it's like,
And we're seeing what's going on live and in color.
Yeah.
And but so yeah, you had malfunction on your shit, but you also worked through.
Oh
it.
yeah, it works.
So
out.
to me,
Good
that
reps.
is better than just being comfortable and being nice.
it's
Fuck,
more valuable.
Thank
It is.
you. You're getting the gist
agree.
of why we're here.
I totally
and,
agree.
and you're getting it on the fly, bro, and you're
But you know, if
fixing
you're
it on
not
the fly.
looking sexy, just leave everything.
Fuck looking sexy, bro. It's about putting it. You're figuring it out, and you're putting in work. And let's be real. You're putting effective rounds down range on a target that is fucking reduced C zone to us right now, but it's actually full C zone, but at 190 meters, mind you, in foliage, through foliage,
And dude,
up on elevated, up on a ridge.
and you can't see it.
Maybe you didn't break that down hard enough. Elevated
Yeah.
through foliage.
I do like that it's not in everything has its place
Right.
as far as
Yeah.
different curriculums and everything like that. And this is definitely not a, hey, we're going to do up drills for like a couple days.
Right.
Essentially, really the stuff we were doing was really to just flesh out like, hey, what are the instructor looking at the students? What are these guys going to be capable of doing?
Right.
And then it's like, okay, let's go do the things now.
Yeah.
And because none of it, is just like, all right, cool, was able to judge what we can go do, and now we're going to go do the things. And those things we're doing, it's actually really cool because it's,
oh yeah,
It's
Very-
live and in color, bro.
it's for sure.
You're doing it now.
dude. It's very
Fuck
cool.
it, we're doing it live.
Like yeah, I know, right?
Like literally.
But I mean, being able to just incorporate all the things.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, cool, we're going to move. We're going to try and stay engaged with our weapon, try and keep our eyes on our target. We're going to move, set back up, engage, move, and also just in different depths, rather,
Right.
as far as the targets and stuff like that.
Different depths, elevation.
Yeah.
You know, like it's really cool. Like you're shooting at a target. Some of them are very close to you, but kind of scattered or staggered, right? And you're engaging them, and then you just turn to a different direction, and then you shoot. You go to a different station. All of these things that make you think, because they give us these instructions, right?
Yep.
And you have to keep thinking.
Processing
Yeah,
all
processing
the time.
all that stuff. So you're thinking at the same time. You're moving. There's a lot of stuff going on there, and yet you got your eyeballs that are like 8 inches or 6 inches in front of you now. It's this weird.
And with it, too,
Yeah.
it's stuff that you can't do other places.
Right.
Exactly.
Like just because of terrain and
Right.
all the other stuff, which is awesome.
And this is the perfect environment, bro. So let's break that down. Folks, it is snowed here. And
Yeah.
so we're looking over vast differences with white phos tubes, with some have green, some have white, but over these 190 meters, and you have a small reduced C zone that's blending in with everything else that's the same color is what you're trying to see.
Yeah.
So the difficulty of you trying to, first of all, PID what you're shooting at, process and make sure that's exactly what you need to shoot at, and then send it. And if you have a fuck up, you're fixing that on the fly. Brother, kudos.
Here's what you need to fix, guys. Listen to me, everybody. Get full power lasers.
Okay,
Get full power stuff, dude.
yeah, full power stuff will help you, but still being able to shoot passive is a thing.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
I try to do that, right? So my problem with this, and I've gotten better throughout the night,
Yeah.
right, towards the end.
Mhm.
My problem was like I get on the gun, I'm like, where the hell is the dot? Normally, like with that orientation, it's right there
Right.
for me. Now I have this new thing. Like, where's this thing? So I kind of do my head like this, like
You're
that.
threading
and
the
I-
needle.
Yeah,
Yep.
so I find it, right? Once I find it, I'm just like, pop. I send one round, and then it goes away. I find it pretty quickly. Dude, all of that stuff, I was like, oh my God, like, am I supposed to focus on this whole thing, or am I supposed to just try to find this dot?
Target,
Yeah.
focus, man.
But, dude, it is so much fun.
It is.
Just under nods, and you just have your dot. So I try to not use the eliminator because I'm like, let me do the whole passive thing. Just look through. Here it is. I had a hard time. And then, as I said, to me, I'm getting used to hold night vision, like what it looks like. So it's a little grainy for me, which when I talk to Jason and other folks, that's just how they are.
Right. Until here's the thing. It's pitch black out here.
That's what I'm saying. That's
Pitch
how they
black.
are.
So no matter, night vision itself, doesn't matter what gen you have, if it's pitch black and what's the name,
Get a little grainy.
It gets a little grainy sometimes. So
because when you guys turned the IR lights over there, everything was crisp clear. So yes.
Yeah.
So with that, I'm like, you know what? I see it, kind of see it, but you know what? It's good. I'm just gonna eliminate it.
Yeah.
And I would use that. But long distance, the reason I said, and I'm no expert when it comes to get to full power, whatever. I'm just kind of joking in a way. But long distance, dude, I could not. My eliminator would not reach that 197 meter, whatever that was.
Yep.
I could not. That was my PID. Was like, I was like, it's there. I think that may be it, but let me send it around and see if I hear a ding. That's how it was for me. It just wouldn't reach.
And there's certain things that folks do when it comes to doing that. And I'll give you, for instance, what I like to do, especially if I know I'm shooting at distance, I will first of all not be in my optic first. I will spotlight it with my illuminator, find it, I'll get into my glass, and then I'll just verify and spotlight again and then send around. But to me, I'm trying to get all of this information. I know I'm searching for something at my point of domination, but I'm not gonna hunt for it in my glass, because then I'm not seeing much.
Living in your optic,
right? So
yeah.
And
So
Ivan, what do you normally do?
are you a night vision shooter? Like you're a nods guy?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, you were a contractor.
Yeah. But with respect to lasers and stuff like that, honestly, it's not so much the power as largely the clarity. In that, like PEC 15, people love them. I hate them. Like,
why?
If you turn on your illuminator, like, it's gross. Like,
it's a petri dish.
I don't know how to describe it other than it's gross light, like the illumination, versus some of your like V cells, whether it's like a mall or even a Key or something like that.
OGL.
And some other ones like use them now too, V cell, and it's just way cleaner light. And that unto itself is usually just way more usable than like a higher power of output. Like a civilian mall, for example, is really, really usable.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, I was actually at a night vision class. I think it was at Thunder Ranch, and I had like the XVL2 IRC, which is like the civilian version of their IR laser, illuminator, all that stuff. I shot that thing out to like 300 yards. I mean, part of it is conditions and everything like that. And past that, though, I actually had to have a full power mall, like on high, illuminate for me so I could use the laser still.
Right.
But like the illumination wouldn't go out there. But then we go back to how far can you PID?
Right.
Yeah.
Like under nods, and the answer is like 50 to 100 yards maybe, depending on conditions. And so then do I want to have the capability of seeing something and shooting something?
Right.
Maybe, I don't know. But like reality versus application sometimes.
There you go.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, definitely the PID distance is extremely important when we talk about thermals too. Like, there's obviously detection range, and there's an identification range.
Right.
And okay, you can detect something, but you need to ID something.
That,
at least in our
as
world.
well as having, like, the one that kills me is thermals without any type of like range finding too. And you're like, oh man, look at that giant hog. You're like, that's a piglet. That's like 20 yards away. or you're like, man, look at that little piglet out there. No, man, that's a huge hog. It's just really far away.
Right.
Like, because there's no scale depending on the terrain and stuff like that.
Yeah. Dude, this whole thermal and night vision, it's something that I'm obviously new to, because in my background, law enforcement at federal level and even at federal level, I didn't need to use night vision. So my job never required it. And a lot of white light stuff for me. That's what we did, right? And so it's a fascinating thing for me. Like when I heard we were going to come out here, do some night vision training, I was stoked. I was like, okay, I'm actually going to do a night vision training. Instead of just kind of like doing your own little thing. Oh, this is what it looks like. And I don't know what I'm doing when it comes to that. and especially learning from Buck Doyle, right? He knows what he's doing, and now I'm sold. Like I'm sold on the technology more than I've ever before, right? Because I have that PVS 14. That's
You see why I nerd the fuck out, right?
Yeah, dude.
Right?
I need to figure out a way to get myself a PVS 31s.
You ain't got to get 31, but I hear you.
Why, come on.
I mean,
what do you? Like, I'm gonna ask.
Yeah, ask Ivan. Yeah,
What do you think? What night vision should I get?
Whatever you can afford.
Oh, that's the greatest answer.
Okay.
No, I mean, really, it's one of those things where if you had a PVS 14, you can do a lot of work with a PVS 14, and it's just like buying a Palmetto, man. Like, get a PSA $500 AR. Eventually, you'll realize that you would like things different on that, at which point you can make meaningful upgrade that you would actually be in a place to take advantage of, whether it's a trigger, barrel, like whatever it may be. And same thing, honestly, with night vision on a certain level, in that you really don't know what you don't know. And until you start spending time behind it, then you're like, oh man, like I'm now at a capability where I can make better use of something that is arguably better.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like after, especially tonight, I'd want a dual tube.
They're great.
Right?
They're also really expensive.
Yeah.
Here's the greatest part. You can always turn it into a mono, right? You
Right?
can always
'Cause you can
flip one
articulate
pod.
them,
Yeah,
right?
flip one pod up. You got a
Dude,
mono.
it's insane. Like, I would just remove the nods. I'd be like, oh my God, there are people in front of me I can no longer see. This is just pitch black. And then I just drop the nods. Everybody's right here. There's the mountain. It is, man, when they say you own the night.
You win the fight, baby.
Yeah. So, little shout out to my buddy Jim Foreman, former SEAL Team 6 Master Chief. And he and I talk all the time, and he tells me all about his night vision. Well, all of his pretty much ops, they're all at night, right? So he's a night vision god himself.
Those guys
right?
never worked during the
Yeah,
day.
that's what I'm saying. He's a night vision god. He jumped from 30,000 feet.
Yeah, Halo.
Night vision. Yeah, like it's the guys, and he would tell me about him, and I'd be like, oh, that sounds really cool. And now I'm like, now I know. Like, oh, this is what they see. This is insane. Because my PVS 14 again, little, what is that, Gen 2? I think that's Gen 2, right?
It's a capability, Kaya. I'm just saying.
What is it? Like, it's just, it is nothing, is not like these guys, what I've seen tonight. Mine is not like that.
Well, it's a capability. It's better than nothing.
Okay, Jason, I know it's better than nothing, of course. I'm just trying to tell you, like, what I saw today is just different world.
Yeah, it's a different
than
world
what I have at home.
But it's also you using both eyes. So
Yes.
that's the thing. So, but here's the thing. I would rather have a high spec,
Single
solid
tube.
PVS 14 than a dumbed out dual.
Yeah.
And that's just me.
Agreed. I think that sounds
Because you can
reasonable.
also scale that.
Right.
Like, one, you can either get another one and bridge it, which you'll pay for it in weight, but the advantage is, hey, buddy,
Yep.
Here's
Clip it
this.
off, and you can use somebody else.
now I have
Two of
people.
these.
Yeah. The other thing is, there's a lot of places nowadays that will, as long as they're fairly close, they'll actually take those tubes and drop them into a housing if you want to actually have dual tubes.
All right. Well, now that my night vision training is over.
Psych, it's not. We still got
We
2 days, bro.
scratched the surface.
I know.
This was night one.
Well, what else are we gonna do? Yeah. What else do you think we're gonna do now?
So tomorrow
I
night.
think a lot more movement.
Yes, and now we're going into a new environment now. All that you learned out here, scratch that. We're going into the pines, baby. We're now currently at 7,173 feet elevation.
Okay.
We are going up to 8,100 tomorrow.
All right. So we're gonna be in the woods.
We are going to be in the woods, and this is going to be the time now, folks. I've taken this course like 3 times. Okay, I still get the dog shit kicked out of me out here. Okay,
Oh,
and,
yeah,
yeah,
elevation
and I'm
will
just
kick your
saying it. Period. The elevation will get you. We're doing different courses of fire. We're adding new courses of fire out here. All this stuff, but I can't wait for you to get up into what we call the pines.
So tell us about it. Have you done this course, by the way, before?
I've not. No.
Okay.
All right, Jason, tell us about
So
it.
we did more open stuff tonight, right? Open, shooting over distance. Now we're going into nothing but thick bush and trees and fighting and seeing. Now, here's the funniest part. You said out here, oh, God, I really just want an illuminator. That's going to change come tomorrow night.
Well, if you're in the woods, it's going to bounce back. You're not going to be able to. Yeah.
Correct. So this is where we, address and assess, man. So you got to find that happy medium of like what you need to do. I'm only going to use my illuminator to spot, find, and then I'll engage with it off. Trust what I have. Not under confirm, damn sure, not over confirm, but send it when I feel comfortable.
So, in the woods, is it one of those like distance shooting, or is it like?
There's some distances. There's some harsh angles.
None of this shit scares me. By the way. I'm just excited about it.
No, I say it like this because I'm getting excited. I'm getting hyped about. Okay, cool, a new capability, something else I get to train on, another level that I need to advance on.
No,
you know
all the environmentals are awesome.
Yes,
it's amazing.
Like,
yes.
Shooting up at my buddy's place, like it's all dark timber, like cedars and stuff like that, and run into the same stuff. Probably even more so here, just because there it's really dark and there's limbs down low, but here like everything, it's almost brush.
Right.
Like all the trees here.
Do you do a lot of night vision training? Or shooting?
Fair bit, yeah. Especially in the winter because sun sets at like 4 in the
Yeah,
afternoon.
you're good to go, baby.
Yeah.
All right.
And that's my bread and butter, baby. So
I know, you love night vision.
Night vision.
And I don't blame you. It's amazing.
It's addictive, isn't it?
I'm sold
It's
tonight.
addictive.
Like after I get out of here, I'm going to try to figure out a way to, the one that I can afford, let's just say, right?
The best one you can afford.
The best one I can afford. I'm going to get my hands on and start setting up some night shoots.
No.
More
But
of
you
that.
have a PVS 14 now.
I do, and I can work with that
Right.
until I figure something else out for sure.
And then just get a full power laser
That's right.
for the illuminator.
for
Work
sure.
with that, and then boom, upgrade whenever you feel later.
I definitely look forward to it. This is incredible, and also we do day shoot too,
Yeah.
which is good.
Oh
too.
yeah, we do shoot during the days. I forgot to mention that.
Yeah, we do. What do we got tomorrow?
So again, we'll go up into the pines. We'll see the course of fire
During the day?
Yep, during the day. So there's obstacles to go over or through.
Hey, physical stuff. I love it.
It's fun.
Love the physical stuff.
There's a lot of stuff to go through, but you're also, remember, staying connected to the weapon, moving to your next point of domination, trying to traverse through trees and brush and limbs and all of that stuff to then come up to a new point of domination and then engage a target. There's a lot going on, man, and it may seem almost like easy just to talk about, but doing it and then seeing where the wheels fall off, two
it's
different. Yeah.
simple, not easy.
Right. There you go.
That is all training, right? Anytime this is in the last almost 15 years, I've gone through these trainings hundreds of times, many times, and organized training is what I'm saying. Night vision for the first time. Every time the instructors show you the course of fire, you're like, oh, it's easy. Yeah, okay, good, that. And then when you do it, you just shit the bed.
You watch, you're like, I got a plan.
It's gone. Every time, dude. Every time. You're like, oh, it's easy. Just 2 over there, turn around, send 2 over here, then run, engage 2 over there, prone, another 2 over there. Simple. And then you just like shoot the 2 right there, and then you forget running. You start proning over here. Just a mess. This happens every time. To me, other people, you just watch it.
Yeah.
That's why you train. You try to break sweat in the training environment. So that's it. And then this is your 3rd time doing it, you said? Mm-hmm. And is Buck Doyle just provide training night vision stuff?
No, he's got bolt action only. He's got his scope carbine course. He's got his recce course. He's got his low light recce course, which this is kind of a mixture of low light recce course as well. So, and then he's got recce pistol course. He's got, what else? There's a shotgun course, bro. There's so much. Recce shotgun, and that's crazy. You're running
I was going to say, all of it is pretty much centered around, like, not a square range, right?
Correct. None of it is a square range.
That's cool.
Just do stuff in the environment,
Bro,
like in real life.
The other ranch in Teasdale, Utah.
Oh, he does stuff over there too?
the red rocks running through the canyons where you're jumping from one side of the bank to the other one with the river running through, and you've got to engage these targets that pop up with the action targets. Brother, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. You got any other upcoming trainings coming up for you?
February, I guess. Gonna go shoot the Winter War, the Finnish Brutality.
I was just about to say,
Dude,
you did it last year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
it was-
this year, I guess.
Oh,
I
sorry.
August?
This
Did you go there in
I did
August?
it last year and this year.
Wow.
And then, because the last 2 years, to include this year, has
Right.
been in the summer. And
well,
then,
August 24th.
Yeah.
This year.
yeah.
I know those guys.
And then they're great guys.
I know them very
Finns
well.
are
They're
wonderful.
Awesome, yeah.
But then this next one's in February, so yeah, snow
Jesus.
and
And in
February in Finland.
So I met the Tom, obviously Yari,
Yeah.
Jenny at that time was Hooply. I remember those guys, but Tony and Yari, I know them
Yeah.
very well. I met them 3 years ago at a Surviving Man TV show set, like where we
Oh,
were. Like,
okay.
yeah, I was with a manufacturer. I set up a course like this. I set up a combat course for them, right?
Nice.
Full blown, like, you know how we like run and gun here?
yeah,
I did that, but like just do tenfold on like the amount of stuff. Like,
Yeah.
there's- imagine,
All the
remember, all the
stations
stations. I
over
just
and
set it
over.
all up, and I just demoed once, and they did it for the sake of TV show, and they used
Yeah.
the guns that my manufacturer at that time that I was with, and hung out with them, got to know them. There's a girl in their team too, Jenny.
yeah,
and-
she's great.
yeah, she's great,
She's an insanely good shooter, by the way.
long ranger. Yeah.
No, like just, I think she got like, something ridiculous.
she's
Like her
good
team was
national-
like third in like worlds or something like that. Like
Yeah.
it's ridiculous.
She's very, very good. I remember. So we started talking, and I went over to Finland. I went
Nice.
to Lapland and spent a week in a cottage over there.
Yeah.
It was a good time.
I'm actually going like 3 days early to go up north to go ski up there.
Oh, dude,
Yeah.
it's
I'm hoping it'll be clear for the northern lights.
So it should be,
wow.
but you're not going to see daylight.
No.
That's the
No.
thing. Because when I went there in July, it was like 3 a.m. The sun was up there.
Yeah.
The sun would never go down, which was so trippy. Like I'd be hanging out. Jenny would be like, "Hey, I'm just going to bed." I'm like, "What? What's wrong with you?" We're like hanging out. It'd be like 2 a.m.
Yeah.
I have no clue. You don't even feel it, right? And we were supposed to go to Finnish Brutality this year.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Tony invited us.
Didn't work out.
Didn't work out because we had some other obligations, and I also had. It still is, but it's not as bad. Going through a pretty bad shoulder impingement, right
All right.
shoulder, and for 8 months, like it's still here. Like I still don't do many pull-ups.
Yeah.
For months, I couldn't even do one.
Yeah, that would probably not be the play going
Yeah.
that Finnish
Yeah.
Brutality.
Exactly. So, but it wasn't the reason we didn't
Yeah.
go. We had some other stuff came up, but the company authorized us. Tony was like, "Yep, let's do it," and all that stuff. I think Ian from Forgotten Weapon and Yari, they're
Yeah.
down in South Africa.
No,
South
they're
America.
in where was it? The Falklands, I think.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Where is
Yeah,
it? Is that in
Falkland
South
Islands.
America?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's off of, I believe, off of South America.
Yeah. I was like,
It's like off of Bolivia, isn't it?
I don't know where it's at, but
Is it
all I know
Bolivia?
is South something. He
Oh,
said
no,
South
I don't want to sound geographically illiterate.
America.
Somewhere.
Good people. So you did
Yeah.
the August 24th one? You were
Yeah,
there?
did that one.
How was that? Good?
It was really fun. Like those are probably the best competitions like that I've been to.
See, I
As
love
far
that
as
stuff.
like I really appreciate those kinds of competitions because you have like a physical component and then you have a shooting component. And like I did a bunch of the tactical games like initially and stuff, which
They don't
good
compare.
for them. Like not my, no, it's apples and oranges, like 100%.
Wow.
I mean, the tactical games is CrossFit with like a little bit of shooting. Like it
That's
is,
it.
which is fine because there's a lot of people that enjoy it. And I think it's great. Anything that moves the needle, honestly, for
Yeah.
the shooting community, I think is great. But the like Finnish Brutality and stuff, it's just really fun. Like
Yeah.
the courses of fire are fun and
The hangouts too.
all the people, like it's great. And part of what makes that great is you will have a competition like that. And dude, there were really good shooters there this year. Like really like ranked shooters, and they absolutely came in like at the top. But it's one of those where even though there's like pretty awesome prize table, there's no, you came in first, like go get that optic so that you can sell it because you're sponsored by the other optic company. Like there is not that. The whole prize table is a lottery. Like you get recognized coming in first, second, and third, but that doesn't mean you're first to the prize table. And so as a consequence, though, no one's in a jersey. Like literally everyone's there to have fun.
Right.
Like first and foremost, like they want to go have fun and shoot the match. And that creates a completely different environment versus your competitions where someone wants to go win. They're going to rules lawyer because, hey, like you should have marked that a hit or whatever. Like you don't have that because it doesn't really matter. Like people just want to go do the thing.
Right.
Dude, maybe next year. I know Tony.
I'm down.
I know those people. And,
Finns are really cool people, man.
Oh, they're very
awesome
cool
people.
Yeah.
Dude, they know how to party.
And they
You better get
yeah.
ready to be naked in a sauna.
And they can drive too.
Yep.
They're really good drivers officially.
Oh, I don't know that part.
I'm just letting you know. Finns are great drivers too. Like rally car, and like how they do the.
Are you talking about because of Bottas from Formula One?
No, I'm not talking about Bottas. I'm talking about rally car racers, like the guys who are running around in all-wheel drive quattros and doing all that stuff.
Oh, yeah,
bro.
there was a Finn, really world-famous rally car driver from Finland.
Like-
I remember, yeah.
9-time world champion or something like that. Like, yeah, big
Very,
deal.
very good. I remember that. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Well, Kit Badger. So, you and I share a bunk.
We do.
We do. And
How is that? That's great.
it's probably a great experience.
Guys hug each
amazing.
other.
It's amazing. Yeah. I move around.
I mean, it's a bunk bed, but we're both on the bottom bunk, right?
You didn't know that?
I hear you, man. I'm on the top bunk.
we
I don't know
put-
what to tell you,
We
shorty.
have our luggage and stuff on the bunk.
That's so awesome.
Because you can't have it. So we're both sharing the bunk. But
Gotcha.
When I didn't even know you had climbed up on there last night, I'm like, I don't know how structurally sound this bed is. I'm like, I have no idea who's up there.
Step brothers moment.
Yeah.
You know? That's
Did we just become best friends?
yeah.
Go do karate in the basement.
Yeah. Karate in the basement. What time is it right now over here? Because I've still got the Charlotte time.
It is
It's almost 11.
almost 11.
Almost 11 o'clock, and we're
We've-
supposed to be up by like 5.
Up and
6 a.m.
out by 7.
We're rolling at 7.
Rolling at 7:30.
Rolling, so we got to be here. I think
7 a.m.
breakfast- With that being said, what do you think?
Gents,
Awesome day.
Yeah,
Awesome
great day. And thanks for stopping by here, being a guest on our podcast, man.
Yeah,
Pleasure
thanks for having
you.
me, man.
yeah, man.
Great meeting you, obviously, in person, and hopefully we'll do some more stuff together, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Gotta
Good.
invite you out to our neck of the woods.
Exactly. Guys,
some
check
stuff
out
happening.
Kit Badger. Oh, yeah. We
Yes.
That'd be fun.
should. Definitely. You should come out to Classic.
Yeah.
We'll just do some cool stuff.
Yeah, man.
I don't know. Like, is there anything we have that he hasn't probably shot?
I don't know. He is the Kit Badger.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
We'll
probably.
figure something out. But yeah, we'll definitely have you over. And guys, check out Kit Badger. How do people find you?
Yeah, pretty much everything, all the social stuff is just Kit Badger or kitbadger.com, like website. All the videos get posted there too.
That's what's
Perfect.
up.
Guys, check him out. And that's about it. With that being said, I think it's time to call the night and
Shower.
tomorrow morning.
Shower and bedtime.
Exactly. Guys, we appreciate your time, your business,
God bless.
and we'll see you on the next one.